Hello, my name is Kimberly Kolzicki, and welcome to my Picha Kucha presentation. The following slides represent my action research report. I chose to research project-based learning and peer relationships within a fifth grade gifted cluster. Being a fifth grade gifted inclusion teacher, I would oftentimes see my brightest and most talented students sitting alone during free time. Then again, in the classroom, when most students loved working with a partner on a task or activity, these same students would choose to work alone. I began to wonder what I could do to help my gifted students form peer relationships within my classroom. I started to reflect on the teaching methods that were predominantly used in the school district I worked in. I had been trained in project based learning 3 years ago at a private school, and that had been my way of teaching all the students for 3 years. At my new public school, the administrators were just beginning to introduce project based learning, and the teachers were yet to start implementing it. I was hired to begin to implement project based learning to my fifth grade team. I had always believed that project based learning was one of the best ways to teach life skills and creative thinking to my students. Now, I was curious if project based learning could also encourage my gifted students to create better relationships and relationship skills. What is project based learning? It is a process by which students learn through a model that is concept and theme driven. It is a way of learning that teaches discovery, research, independence, cooperation, inquiry, creativity, productivity, and the application of skills to all disciplines. Project based learning is unique and different than standard instruction, as it involves a great deal of collaboration among students to work towards a solution to a driving question. A team collaboration using project based learning will encourage the gifted students to use social skills competencies to complete or master the problem being solved. Project based learning will give the gifted students opportunities to practice their social skills, thereby increasing their likelihood to make and keep more true friends in the classroom. Before I began the action research and the project based learning, the gifted students completed a pre assessment. This assessment was in the form of a checkoff sheet. Each participant was given a roster of students in their class. The subjects then identified each student as a friend or acquaintance. I also completed a teacher pre assessment. I observed the 5 participants and recorded their behavior during 3 time periods of the school day: indoor recess, outdoor recess, and an activity where they could choose to work with a partner if they wished. I watched to see if the gifted students were alone during these 3 times of the day or if they choose to work and play with friends. This was all recorded before the project based learning began. After the completion of the project based learning, the same self assessments and teacher observations were done again and then compared. The students worked hard to make their costumes, props, and autobiographies of their characters from the colony of Jamestown and the Powhatan Native American village. This living history reenactment was then presented to the entire elementary school as a walkthrough interactive village. Here you can see we have the mayor of Jamestown, John Smith, with his book of laws. We also have a young Native American woman from the Powhatan Indian tribe. And we have a gentleman who came over from England with his indentured servant. All of these are gifted students. Every day for 4 weeks, the students worked with their team. This provided the gifted students with opportunities to practice and strengthen the social skills supported by collaborative for academic and social and emotional learning, responsible decision making, self management, social awareness, social relationships, and self awareness. In here, you could see 2 gifted students who became the ministers of the Jamestown colony. The fifth grade students did a fabulous job with their 4 week living history PBL. The Coshocton Tribute reporters were on hand to capture the excitement. With the completion of the 4 week project based learning, it was time to collect data again. The gifted students did another self assessment to identify who they now felt were their true friends in the classroom. The teacher completed the same observations at indoor recess, outdoor recess, and during an activity in which the gifted student could choose to work alone or with another. All the data was collected, it was put in tables and charts and analyzed. After the 4 week PBL, the data was compiled into this final report. Out of 5 gifted students, 4 of the students showed an increase in the self reported friendships within the classroom. There were also positive findings reported in peer interaction during indoor and outdoor recess. The amount of interactions between the gifted students and their peers doubled. The data collected showed no significant increase in the gifted students choosing to work with peers on an assignment. In a summary of the findings, 4 out of 5 gifted students reported an increase in friendships in their classroom after completion of the PBL. 3 out of 5 gifted students now chose to play games with a peer during indoor recess. This was 3 more students than pre-PBL. 4 out of 5 gifted students chose to work with a peer. This was the same as before the PBL. And 4 out of 5 students were with a peer during outdoor recess. 1 student changed from playing alone before the PBL to choosing a peer to play with after the PBL. Project-based learning is a positive and effective teaching method to improve the social relationships of 5th grade students. Through project-based learning, gifted students are required to work through teamwork to achieve a goal. This requires respecting each other's ideas, making decisions as a group or as teammates, learning conflict management skills, and promoting student-student interaction and increasing self-esteem. Project-based learning is ideal for gifted students, also in that the projects challenge the advanced learner and motivate them to achieve the goal put forth in front of them. My action research has 2 limitations. The first was the time restraint. After approval by Cayuse, that only left me with 4 weeks to work before the end of the school year. My second limitation was that only 5 out of my 8 gifted students participated in the study. To further continue the research, I would like to evaluate the same 5 gifted students who have moved on to 6th grade. The district has now made the gifted students decompartmentalize and not be self-contained this year. The gifted students are still bundled into one class, but the whole class moves from teacher to teacher in subject areas. The decompartmentalization of all teachers now significantly inhibits a cross-curricular PBL. The standard teaching mode is more prevalent in 6th grade, perhaps as a way to prepare students to move to middle school in 7th grade. I am also curious about the durability of the friendships they made at the end of 5th grade and throughout the PBL. I'm also curious how much collaboration time they have in 6th grade and if they feel accepted by their peers. It would be interesting to break the study up into female and male students. Traditionally, female students tend to be the more social sex. Do gifted female students make and keep friends easier than gifted male students? Also, does poverty level play a part in how gifted students interact or are interacted with by their peers? Are the gifted students who come from financially stable homes better equipped with social skills than those who come from economically disadvantaged backgrounds? Thank you for taking the time to listen to my presentation and my research project. If you have any further questions or would like to discuss this research further, please feel free to email me at the address on your screen. Thank you.